Today's lesson, we're going to go over the Tiger BP routine. Every time we hit, we're going to have a purpose and a plan as far as the start of our BP rounds, as opposed to just hitting random reps and random hits. First thing of every BP round is 2 bunts. We're going to go 1 bunt to each side. That way, theoretically in a game, if you're asked to bunt, you have a taste or a practice for bunting to each side of the field, whichever one the coach asks you to do. So 1 bunt each way is the first round. The second round is an oppo round, or what we call a middle away round. Wherever the pitch happens to come in, you're trying to work inside the ball and trying to hit it in general middle away. The basis of this, the whole point of doing this, is to start our day with a few concepts, some of our main concepts. We'd rather have you be patient than jumpy. We'd rather have your front shoulder staying closed than opening up. And we'd much rather have your hands inside the ball than coming around the ball. All those traits have to be accomplished to hit the ball middle away. So even if the BP thrower or the machine is locked in slightly middle in, you're still trying to work inside out. So you don't have to necessarily hit the ball to dead right, but the ball should be hitting to the slight oppo of wherever the pitch is. The second round is a hit and run round. Hit and run, our main concepts are 3 basic things. Number 1, you have to swing to protect the runner. Number 2, hit the ball on the ground so we don't double them up. And number 3, we're trying to get it to the opposite side where either the second baseman or the shortstop are covering. So for a right-hander, we're trying to hit it in that second base slot because most likely the second baseman's going to cover. And for a lefty, we're trying to hit to the shortstop area because that shortstop's most likely going to cover. So no matter what the pitch is, unless it's crazy 10 feet over your head or hits the ground 20 feet in front of the plate, if it's anywhere close on these hit and runs, swing to make sure we protect the runner, even if you miss. But then, best case scenario, you're hitting a ground ball to the opposite side. Worst case scenario, we don't want it in the air because we don't want to double them up, and we definitely don't want anything up the middle. We have a pitcher in that way, in that path, and we have a guy covering the bag. So if you hit up the middle, we're most likely going to get some kind of force out or double play, which is obviously we don't want. So we got the bunts, we got the oppo round, the hit and run. The hit and run theoretically gets a guy to second, so now we're trying to get him over. So your next round is what we call a get him over round. What that means is you're trying to hit the ball to the right side of the field. So for a righty, you're hitting oppo. For a lefty, you're pulling. Our main goal here is to get the guy from second to third. If a ground ball and an out occurs to the right side, you still get them over. But we're not trying to settle for that. We'd rather have an actual hit. So don't just try to push it over there and sacrifice yourself. It's not a sacrifice bunt. You're swinging it. So try to drive something to the opposite field. But the worst case scenario, as long as you get it over there, we still get the guy over to third, which is our main point in the first place. After we get the guy over from second to third, now our goal is to get him in. So we call that a get him in round. The basic structure here is with less than 2 outs, we're thinking of a deep ball in the outfield, hopefully a single, double, triple, or home run, but the worst case scenario would be a sac fly. And if we get something deep in the outfield with a guy on third and less than 2 outs, least case scenario, we get the sac fly and get him home. Best case scenario, we get some kind of hit where he comes home and you also get on base. The other option, depending on if the infield is in or back, we might have you do some ground balls gap to gap. Because that, if a shortstop or second baseman gets a ground ball and the infield's back, that'll get them in too. And we'll discuss when you guys are hitting, we'll tell you whether the infield's in or the infield's out. So those are the situational hitting, what we call situational hitting rounds. These are stock rounds. We're not making these up here at the Rawlings Tigers. This is the same rounds that most people do in the colleges and professional baseball. But we're going to start your rounds with a planned purpose as opposed to just jumping in the cage and hitting away.